Hey, everybody, to those of you who speak to a higher power or to speak to the universe or even put good juju out, tonight is something very big for me, a potential opportunity to um, advance, advance as a professional, advance as a person. Um, I'm very excited. It is, there was a eater in here, guys. Something that could eat me in here. And I got it. Um, and I'm in a position where I'm okay if it happens, and I'm okay if it don't. But I always felt like I needed to, like my talents, what I have to offer is grossly underutilized. And although this is not the tippity top of what it could be, um, it is a segue. There is a natural progression segue into being the tippity top of what it could be. Unlike where I currently am, it's this is it. This is as good as it gets. This is what it is. Although I feel there's been opportunities to advance me, um, those decisions have not been made. And I give advice all the time. If you ask me, if they're not going to do it, you got to do it for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, long are the days where you're going to retire with that gold watch. You know what I mean? So, um, tonight, I'm not going to know tonight, but I have an opportunity tonight. I'm trying to say without saying, you know what I mean? So I have the opportunity tonight, and let's just say that it will be, it will be, it'll be different. It'll be different. Um, but you know, I have a really good face, and um, let's just say the community will be seeing a lot more of this face on the public forums. So yeah, that's put your girl in a positive thought. Put your girl in a positive. Put me in your positivity and thoughts, and put me in your positivity and thoughts, and um yeah. And you know what? It's also I'm just honored because I don't have no connections. And these types of positions usually come with connections, and you got to know somebody, and I really don't. I really don't. So this is pretty much on my own merit and being a good civil servant, and really um being active in my community, because I think, like, I don't really know nobody, but you could easily see that I have been an active citizen in my city. I have been an active voter. Uh, 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 you know, I just been active. I try to be a good citizen of my city, and my city is very, 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 very small, y'all. So yeah, and yeah. So wish me good graces. Um, Needless to say, yeah, I'm gonna go in a totally different direction if I need to. Um, and yeah, hopefully my village will support me, because I got churn, and I'm gonna need some more support, because there are some nights, because there are some meetings that are at night, but I think they're like a couple times a month. Um, Whereas where I work now, the meetings are usually during the day, even though there are night meetings. As far as board meetings, I did not have to go. I would just submit a report, which was read on my behalf. But with this new position, I will have to be there. But it's in the stepping stone in the right direction because women are hypergamous and we need to elevate. I'm an elevator. I got very, very strong leadership energy. Um, so I talked about it yesterday, and Diddy was raided, and they found his homes. Two of his homes was raided. They found him because he wasn't at the homes, but his children were, and they were, although they were cuffed. I learned that being cuffed doesn't necessarily mean that you are arrested. It just means that you're detained. Probably they got to get all the grown-ups and everybody out the house to make it, secure so they could go and do what they do. And then Diddy's lawyer put out a video of them ransacking, because, it's a raid. It's a raid. So they ransacked the house and everything. And, yeah, it was very hard to watch the video because, like, it's kind of like when your house get broken into, you kind of feel violated. You kind of feel violated. Like they were like, the shoes were thrown everywhere. The clothes drawers pulled out and everything was just thrown about the place. And he's a very wealthy man. This wasn't like a house. This was like a commune, guys. This looked like a city college. You know what I mean? Like it was a commune. I'm even gonna call it a house. This I live in a house. That wasn't no house. Um, but yeah, I could see how somebody would feel violated and just like like I don't even want to go there no more. I don't even want to go there no more. I don't know if he's guilty or not. These are just like, and I think these are like complaints. I don't even think anything has went to like court or judge or anything. These are just complaints. It was very newsworthy that the complaint that Cassie put out was taken care of in a day or two. It never went anything past the complaint. Nothing criminal. Oh my gosh. Nothing is civil. Nothing is criminal. It's just these complaints. And there's been more since Cassie. So, and also noteworthy that it's not the FBI, it's not the CIA, it was Department of Homeland Security. And so he's not, so I think it was like S trafficking, right? Claims or whatever. But my thing is, these raids are not announced, right? I'm guessing you would want the element of surprise, right? You would want the element of surprise as the law enforcement entity. You would want the, hey, so you don't have time to like, you guys ever seen like Fun with Dick and Jane with oh my god, in Living Color, what's his name? Oh my god, The Mask, Jim Carrey. Oh my god, Jim Carrey and Tia Leone. I love that movie, by the way. And where they're like, we're being indicted. He goes on the press thing. He got this promotion. He's now got this promotion, and now he's thrown on like this show, and he's like blindsided, and the company's going under. And then he goes back to the office, and people are shredding things and burning papers in the trash can, and just running amok. And somebody's taking his ficus. He's like, that's my ficus. That's my ficus. And he grabs the ficus, right? Ficus plant. So you wouldn't want the heads up that that's going on, so that whatever you're looking for can't be destroyed or removed from the property. But the footage that we were seeing, guys, was very like the press and the helicopter footage and the drones. It was very much, we knew this was coming, and and like the press knew it was coming, and like Diddy not being at either home and the plane being in Antigua, the private plane being in Antigua, which does have an extradition law, I think dating back to the 80s, and him being spotted in Miami at the airport, like it just seemed like, did he know? But at the same token, there was an individual in that house who had paraphernalia on him, a non-legal paraphernalia that he didn't have a prescription for, right? Y'all get what I'm saying? And he was arrested. So everybody else was detained, but this person who was named in the suit as being the supplier for P. Diddy's extracurricular activities, he was there with his non-prescription paraphernalia and he was arrested. I do believe in my short amount of research that he was the only one that was arrested. Now, I have no opinions on this situation because it is too much. It's too much. Normally, I will give you my unsolicited opinions about these situations, but I can't. There's no rhyme or reason for me. I cannot put my finger on it. I don't. I can't have one. I like to have educated guesses. I don't like to just pull something out of my rear. I don't like to just pull it out there. If you notice that my everything has changed, I'm trying to get in my journalistic bag. I would like to be I don't want to be a blogger who reports on the news. I want to be a journalist. Okay, so I want to be the Black Don Lemon. I want to be that. So I cannot give you guys, Eris cannot give you guys this educated guess. I cannot give you my hypothesis because the information, it ain't matching. I'm all over the place, guys. Help me. Did he know about it? But if he knew about it, can somebody, now I say children, because those are his children, but these are 25-year-olds and 30-year-olds. They're grown-ups. But I'm going to say his children because don't y'all say, you my child forever, even though you an adult? I feel like Diddy might be a lot of things, but I always thought he was, from what I see, because I don't know the man, all about his children and all about being a father. That's what I see. The children lived with him. Like these women allowed their children to live with him. Except for Kim Porter, because she was his longtime girlfriend, partner, whatever you want to call it. So her son with Al B. Sure, of course, lived there with her because she lived there. But the other one, who's I think Justin's mother, she didn't live there, but Justin pretty much lived with his father. So for him to know about it and just by happenstance or circumstance not be there, but allow his sons to be there and to be, now they weren't arrested because they're not under arrest. They were cuffed and detained. But if you watch the video, the person detaining the light-skinned one, I'll be sure son, was shorter than him and had to pull him down to his level a little bit as he held the rifle or the gun, the blicky, as he held the blicky in his hand and held the cuffs in the other hand and had to like pull him down to be on his level and to walk backwards. Just watching that alone is traumatic. And to just stand there with your hands behind your back, cuffed, as people are taking pictures and there's video, and you just standing there with people with weapons all around you, is traumatic. You can't tell me it's not traumatic. That's traumatic. And we're not talking about children, adults, or people who grew up in the hood who is used to that. These kids were born rich. Okay? It's not like Diddy was in the thick of of his poverty and his come upness with and then had children. No. No. These kids were born rich. They have no idea how to, there's no coping skills for this. This is what happens to the poors. This doesn't happen to the richy riches, right? Well, we know it happens now, but in that mindset, I'm rich, I'm affluent. I suffer from affluenza. It's a mental disorder where I'm so spoiled and so affluent. I feel like I'm untouched. And you can't tell me there is no level of trauma that comes from that. So I always thought that Diddy was about his churn, and to say that, hey guys, I'm just going out of town for a little bit, knowing that this was coming, I can't see that. I gotta make it make sense, and that don't make sense. That don't make sense. That don't make sense to me. Does not make sense to me. And then you're not gonna give a heads up to your quote unquote supplier not to be there unless you are just something, unless you are everything that everybody says you are. Unless you are everything that everybody says you are, and this is just for show, and you have no problem sacrificing every and anyone, including your children. But I am such a good person, I cannot even rationalize that. Like, if you put a formula in an Excel spreadsheet and it's not correct, you will get an error. Cannot compute, error. If you try to do a multiplication, a 2 plus 2 in Excel, and you don't add the equal sign first, right? If you don't write that formula and you just do 2 plus 2 and you try to get it, that's not going to work. So I cannot compute that. It's beyond my scope, because it's just, maybe it will burst my not closeted, secure bubble of protection that I believe people are inherently good and things happen to them that make them bad, right? Life be lifing. But I think people are inherently good, and just situations and opportunities and life and takes them off of that good path. Or are you not? Or is the boule real? Is the stuff I've been talking about the divine nine and the boule and the occult and all of that, maybe it is real? Did he make agreements with certain entities and people? And it's, what's the is it a Grimm story where the parents, is it Sleeping Beauty, where the parents made an agreement with Rumpelstiltskin, and they got all this wealth, or he was king or something like that, and all he asked for was their firstborn daughter or something like that, and they couldn't have children, so they was like, that's not gonna happen. And they had a daughter, and they got rid of all the spindles. Am I mixing that up? But anyway, I feel like that was a story where they made a devil. They made an agreement with the powers that be, and now you gotta pay. Oh my God, I'm such a geek. Ghost Rider, right? Ghost Rider, the guy on the motorcycle with the flamed head, he made an agreement, he sold his soul, and then he had to pay. What you want to pay what you owe, right? You want to pay. So I feel like that's what happened. That's my only way of rationalizing the situation because although these are grown-ups, right? One is 30 and one is 25, I think, right? We're not talking about kids, but these are your kids, right? These are your kids. And that's really hard for me to grapple with because if I was to have this conversation with my phone talking to y'all before I had kids, I don't think I would fully comprehend the level or the feeling or the metabolic changes that you go through when you have children, or not even, you don't even got to birth them. You now become responsible for this life force. You are responsible, and there's something innate. Now, I'm only talking for women because I've never been a man. There's something innate that you will scorch any and everything to protect them. You would sacrifice your own self just to keep them from feeling pain. Like, if there was a train coming, I'd push the kid out the way and step in front of it. So I don't know. Did he know? I'm gonna say, okay, I gotta make a choice. I gotta say that he didn't know. I think he knew it was coming. I think he said, yeah, with all of this stuff, his lawyers had to say, with all of this stuff, it could get picked up. It's probably going to come. But I don't think he knew it was coming that then and there because I don't think he would have had them churn in the house. Them adult churn.